What are some tips for someone with no fighting experience to win in a fight?
Silent scan.
Bart, remember when Tom had you in that headlock and you screamed, "I'm a hemophiliac," and when he let you go, you kicked him in the back? Homer, yeah. Bart, will you teach me how to do that? Homer, sure, boy. First, you gotta shriek like a woman and keep sobbing until he turns away in disgust. That's when it's time to kick him back. And then when he's lying down on the ground. Bart, yeah. Homer, kick him in the ribs. Bart, yeah. Homer, step on his neck. Bart, yeah. Homer, and run like hell.
Silent scan.
If you aren't in a sanctioned sports competition, there is no such thing as dirty. Most people exhaust quickly in a fight, and you don't want to run the risk that your opponent can last longer than you. Fight quick, fight dirty, and try to finish in 5 to 10 seconds, since you honestly have 30 maximum.
Silent scan.
That's my purse, I don't know you, kick. Perfect sell.
Silent scan.
Footwork is important. Stand so that a punch won't knock you over. Don't lean into a punch. Also know what advantage you have over your opponent. If he's bigger than you, try to move to the side or behind him. Moving's harder for him, so make him move. If he's taller, get in close so his reach advantage is taken away. If he's lactose intolerant, throw milk at him.
Silent scan.
Never use haymakers, hooks, and football kicks. They're fucking stupid and will get you beat real fast. The trick is straight punches using your hip to throw your arm a bit more. Try to get in close so the aforementioned kicks and haymakers won't be able to get enough power in. Keep your hands up. If you have to dodge, go sideways instead of back, so you keep the distance advantage, but either way don't get in a fight in the first place. This is the advice you want to listen to right here. Don't try to emulate Mike Tyson and end the fight with one haymaker, you'll fail. Keep it simple. A straight jab to the nose will make your opponent's eyes tear up and can tip the scales in your favor.
Silent scan.
I took a IMCA self-defense class once. The gist of the class was 1. Avoid fights. Don't be a macho man. 2. Run away if you have to. 3. If it becomes physical, be very loud to draw attention. 4. Your goal in self-defense is to buy time to escape the area. A kick to the groin or palm strike to the nose, eyes, or chin are very effective. 3 is critical. Shout Allahu Akbar at the top of your lungs. I'm Muslim and I'll damn well appropriate some Islamophobia to my benefit. And it'll probably give me +5 intimidation and +2 psycho power. Also, pronounce it properly. It's not pronounced like all, but closer to al. Same goes for Akbar. If you Akbar it, you screwed up. Closer to Akbar. You're welcome.
Silent scan.
Protect your head. Fight dirty. Protect your head. At the first chance to disengage, take it. Protect your loving head. Get the first punch in, and keep pushing your fist after it makes contact. Protect your mother loving head. Tuck your chin. Distract, sucker punch. Are you really going to try and fight me with a cop car right there?
Silent scan.
Go for the sensitive / soft spots, eyes, ears, nose, throat, solar plex, groin, armpits, and frontal part of the elbow. Oh, and don't assume you know how to throw a punch. You'll get boxer's fractures. Edit, these are just sensitive points on the body, and not necessarily points where you should strike an opponent. Armpits are sensitive because they contain nerves, blood vessels, and lymph nodes. Try pinching that area or gouging your thumb or a pointy object into it. The cubital fossa, frontal part of the elbow, is also sensitive and has thin skin. Eyes are great for gouging as well. Don't assume fights are won solely by striking or grappling your opponent. Also, some of these are only something you should do when you're trying to protect your life. Don't attack someone's throat in a normal scuffle.
Silent scan.
Run. Being in a fight is extremely dumb and risky. It should be avoided at all costs. even if you are trained. Edit or de-escalate. Again, fighting is dumb, and I say that as a guy who has been boxing for 7 years at this point. Edit 2, let's be more specific. You should never be trying to win a fight outside an organized sport competition. You should be trying to avoid it, and if inevitable, to disengage from it and get to safety. Voluntarily going into a fight with the intent to win is dumb and reckless. It is extremely easy to sustain or cause a lingering injury or death in combat. The kind of guy who seek fights with stranger tend to be armed or have a bunch of friends ready to curb stomp you. If you want to protect yourself, there is no quick tip. Go get actual training. I guarantee you, they will repeat this very advice too.
Silent scan.
My old Aikido instructor had a saying he always told his classes. He said, don't go places where people hit you. In the context of teaching us Aikido, he meant to position your body in a way that makes it difficult or impossible for an attacker to strike you. However, at the end of class, he would often give a short lecture about how the concept can also be applied to one's life. The way he boiled it down was that fighting is an expression of powerless rage. It is a symptom of poor decision making and tragic circumstances. People leading thoughtful, productive, and fulfilling lives are not getting in fights. They are not overly concerned with personal safety as a day-to-day worry. If you find yourself in a situation where you are regularly concerned for your safety, any type of self-defense technique you learn is only going to be a band-aid trying to cover up a larger problem. Rather than worry about how you are going to win the next fight, you need to worry about how you are going to change your life so that there won't be a next fight. Take another route home from school. Stop hanging out with people who get you in trouble. Stop going to bars or clubs if you keep getting in fights. Or maybe keep going, but don't drink so much. Try to eat healthier. Get some exercise. Get more sleep. Drink more water. Give your mind and body the tools to make good decisions. How is work? Are you getting enough hours? Are you making enough money? Do you need to go back to school? If you've got time for fighting, you've got time for learning. Of course, everyone has circumstances beyond their control. It is a lot easier to comment on Reddit about improving one's life than it is to actually do it. But the point he was trying to make is that you should not accept that you are powerless to make your own decisions about your own life and safety. A good decision you make today, no matter how small, can have consequences that affect your entire life. And that goes double for a bad decision. Even one fight can fuck up, or even end your life. So start avoiding that fight today by making good decisions for yourself and your future.
Silent scan.
Lots of bad advice here. He asked how you win a fight, not how you run away from a fight. That groin, nose, testicle thing is horrible advice that they don't even teach anymore. The leg of your dominant hand 6 inches back, feet shoulder length apart, hands held with knuckles touching your cheeks and elbows in. That's your stance. Don't lift your feet, but pivot them 45 degrees when you throw a punch. Same foot as the hand you're throwing. You want to feel the entire side of your body that's throwing pivot. This is where a majority of a punch's power comes from. After each punch, return your knuckles to your cheek before throwing the next. While throwing a punch, focus on keeping your wrist straight like your forearm is a metal pole. Don't do this, your wrist is broken. Stay tight. Someone dives in for a takedown, shoot your legs back and put your weight on them. Throw elbows any and all opportunities. You want to keep equal weight on both feet. Don't put all your weight on one leg. If that's lifted, you lose all balance. Have the foot of your dominant hand, which should be back, with your toes pointing to either 2 or 3 o'clock. If someone aims for a body blow, lower your forearm, which should be touching your body, if your knuckles are properly placed, and head as your knuckles never leave your cheeks. When you throw a punch, you will really want to lean forward or backwards. No, not do this. Biggest indicator that someone doesn't know what they are doing. If you do this, you cannot move your feet at all, or pivot properly, thus losing all power. In terms of movement, you should be doing a shuffle step with one foot and lightly drag the other. Feels weird, especially keeping your stance, dominant hand's foot 6 inches back plus shoulder length apart. When you step, your feet will be slightly more than shoulder length, shouldn't be more than 3 inches. You go left, move the left foot first. You go right, move your right foot. Never cross your legs. Bigger people hit harder because they have an easier time putting mass into the hit. The same thing can be accomplished with pivoting your body appropriately. People get knocked out, not by the force of the hit, but the jarring in their brain, which is why you see videos of someone barely getting touched and getting knocked out. This is why uppercuts, 5s and 6s, and hooks, 3s and 4s, are so often responsible for knockouts. It's harder to see them. You see a hit coming, and your body involuntarily tenses up the proper neck muscles to prevent brain jarring, so hitting someone at novel angles is ideal. If your dominant hand is right, your right leg should be back. Your left leg is forward. In this position, punches with your left hand are jabs. 1. These are the only punches you should throw consecutively. Keep jabbing pretty much non-stop. Punches with the right hand are crosses. 2. These you put extra power into. You jab to set up a powerful cross. Left hook. 3. Right hook. 4. Left uppercut. 5. Right uppercut. 6. You always want to go even odd, etc. As the knuckle touches your cheek, after throwing a punch, the other punch should already be leaving.
Silent scan.
Remember, there are no rules in a fight.
Silent scan.